Hey fellow dust truckers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Dustland Delivery, Episode 2, Finding a Companion. So this place has a store, a bar, and a repair shop, and maybe the bar will have someone to hire as well. Oh, we didn't quite make it there. I'm going to rest, and then set out. You've arrived in the Western gas station. And I leveled up as a result of that. Let's go to the store and get rid of all that pork that we bought. So it definitely made a bit of a profit. I bought it for $1,800. It's not as much profit than I would have made. Let's see. I'm going to buy a little bit of fuel. And I'm going to sell ointment, which is like... okay. The city only has 454 scrap. So let's see what I can buy here. So this place needs thread, honey, milk, cloth, and this place doesn't make any of those things. What about the rower's rest? Cloth, canned fruit, dried vegetable, charcoal. Nope, no overlap there either. Alright, I'm not going to worry about doing any of that trade then. So this was the repair upgrade that I was talking about. We can use 3,000 of our scrap to upgrade our storage by 2,000. So I'm going to purchase that. And then if we take a look, I am now 15,300 under the 17,000. So our truck won't be overloaded anymore. I'm going to take a standard rest in the inn. I will level myself up, crafting again. And then take a look at the bar. I am not logging out. No one is looking to be hired here. But that's okay. I can make my introductions and possibly hire them at a later date. Other trade to be done. So let's assume rations, wood. Okay, so this place sells wood and Wheatstock buys wood. So let's go ahead and buy some wood here. I'm going to buy maybe 80 units of wood. And then I'm going to sell my ointment here because I have ointment in my truck that I don't really need. I also have salt in my truck that I don't really need. Alright, and we're good to go. So, before I leave here, I'm going to take a look at if any of the delivery contracts are heading to useful spots. So, Mountain Way is very close to all the other places I'm headed to, so sure, I'll collect that. And I'm only taking delivery missions in the same area that I'm already heading to. This spot is not where I'm heading to, but it is pretty close to my other quest locations. But I'm going to hold off on that for now, because you're only really allowed to have 3 delivery contracts at any given time, so I'm not picking up any more. Now, if I wanted to talk to people, you can also introduce yourself. So, for instance, I'm going to introduce myself to this person, this bounty hunter. So he's the troublemaker named Fraser, and I can buy him a drink, I can shake him down, I can trade junk, I can catch up with him. Catching up is like kind of getting to know them, which can be useful. And it gave me a little bit of information about him, but we have incompatible traits. I'm a teetotaler, and he's a drinker, so my opinion of him has dropped as a result. So if I click on him here, I can see that he's a drinker who is parched, and here's his stats. And getting to know people can be really useful when you're trying to find future crew members. Because the Dustlands aren't that huge, and you'll tend to find the same people over and over. Alright. Let's fulfill the remaining contracts that we have while popping into all the places that have bars to try to find an extra crew person. So the reason I'm not just driving from town to town is I'd like to be paid making these stops. So I am trying to go to towns that are close by that have bars so that I can hire people. But earning some money while I do it is very, very useful. You spot a few survivors camped out by their pickup truck. They seem to be resting. I'm going to approach them. So if I was more virtuous, I could chat, trade, or rest with them. But my virtue is not high enough to do any of that, so I can just leave. Because I don't really want to rob them. I'm not really armed with guns or anything like that. So here is terrain modifiers. I started driving towards Clunkertown, but I went through the Youngblood Riverbed Redwoods, or Youngblood River Redwoods, and I don't drive through forests very effectively. It might have been faster to drive around it, but I didn't queue up pathways to do that. So instead, I'm stuck moving at like 16 kilometers an hour, trucking through this forest very slowly, which is not very efficient. So you do have to be careful about where you queue up to move. Now that I'm in the camp submenu, you can see in the camp, I can party, I can hook up, I can cook, start a fire to boil wastewater, I can try hunting or foraging. So there's a lot of different options that you can do when you're camped out. You can't necessarily camp everywhere though. So for instance, swampland, which is denoted here, you're not allowed to camp in. All right, it is snowing. We are barely moving at all. Finally, out of the forest. So Clunkertown does not have a bar, so we're not going to be hiring anyone here, unfortunately. But we did get the delivery done. And I like Clunkertown. It was just a random something that happened. Alright, Clunkertown only has a store. And we can consider if there's anything that they supply that isn't abandoned elsewhere. So, we have wood that will eventually sell to Wheatstock. Unless one of the other towns around me needs wood, but it doesn't look like they do. So, tires, water, chicken, canned fruit, ore, button mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, squab, pheasant, scallop, and shrimp. This place produces water, and Mountain Way needs water. So, water would be a good thing to stock up here, then. So, I will buy 60 units of water here. Leave the city, camp yet again, and then head out. Even though it's snowing. I'll get into... So if you have questions about the game mechanics that haven't become relevant yet, I will explain them once they're relevant, so as to not get ahead of myself. For now, I want to avoid the landfills. I want to wait until I have at least another crew member. So here we are in wetlands, and the condition of the wetlands is we're not allowed to camp. So when you're driving through these wetlands, you got to time it so that if you do need to do a full night's rest, you do it before you enter the wetlands, or you have enough to go through. So here is an example of a really bad weather condition. We cannot move at all. The dust storm is reducing our horsepower by 3, and the hills reducing it by 2, leaving us unable to move at all. But my character is really tired anyway, so resting or camping wouldn't have been an effective time to do it. I mean, I'm not moving anyway. Might as well get some shut-eye. There is a bar in Mountain Way, so maybe I'll be able to hire here. Did it stop because of the automation? No, it stopped because literally my truck couldn't move. Alright, my character has high stress, so I'm going to be looking to fix that in this city as well. Alright, an overdue apology inquiry. From his glassy eyes and unkempt appearance, this old man doesn't look all there. He stares off into the distance, ignoring you. After a minute, he suddenly turns to you. In a voice barely above a whisper, he asks, "You guys couriers?" "Yeah, you need something delivered?" "Something like that." Where are my manners?" This old man sits up straighter. "I'm a teacher, or at least I used to be, over in Iron Bucket. You might have heard of it. It fell into an infected horde 10 years ago. The big one that came out west. Sad story. What happened next?" "It's been a decade since then. The effective horde is long gone. But even so, I've never gathered the courage to go back for them. Could you go there and see if anyone survived? Tell them it's safe to come here now, and that their teacher is very, very sorry. I'll give you 3,000 scrap for your time. No guarantees we'll find anyone, but sure. Here, consider this in advance. If you find any survivors, tell them I sent you, and they'll pay you the rest." Alright, taking a look at the bar first. There is one person to hire, but he's male. I am going to try to get frisky with this dust wolf. Nope, she doesn't want to talk to me. Alright, not doing that. I'm gonna take myself to a VIP suite to reduce my stress. It doesn't do a lot, but it's something. Alright, I'm going to take a look at the other contracts. The bartender doesn't like me because I'm a teetotaler. That makes sense. Sir, the security guard is sociable. I'm sociable, so we like each other. And he wants me to deliver something way up north. No thanks. Alright, I might take the bartender's contract. Oh, he doesn't even want to talk to me anymore. Well, fine. And the woman is a thief, but yeah, I'm going to get frisky. Let's reduce that stress a little bit further. So now my stress is at 221 out of 500. It was near critical before. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to hire anyone here. What I can tell you about the road construction bureaus is there's no services there. It's just a road builder. So there's not going to be anything to do there either. Which means I'm not going to be able to get any work. So after we drop off the last delivery to the road builder, what I might do is just only frequent places with bars so that I can more quickly get a co-pilot. All right, sell water. Yep. Let me stop and go back and sell that water. Store. And we also have I have some vegetables in the truck that are in demand here. Selling the water. And I could also consider things that are needed elsewhere. So, let's see. This makes water, charcoal, rawhide, fuel, eggs. I want to head to wheat stock. So, I already have wood for wheat stock. So maybe I won't, because I might deplete wheat stock's scrap before we even sell anything else. There we go. Am I driving through the forest again? Yeah, I can avoid it. Let's detour around it. Detour around the green sleeves. And take that path. This next place doesn't have any services, so I'm going to be sleeping on the ground. Ooh, toxic fog. Let's charge through it. And I got wounded. No, I didn't get wounded. I misread that. You blocked the attack of the toxic fog and avoided getting wounded. Good. Much like being drunk, when you're wounded you can't drive. However, I do have 4 med kits, which heal just about everything, or almost everything, when you're wounded. Alright. We have a dust storm. It's bad weather. I'm just going to camp instead, rather than trying to drive through a dust storm, because my character was pretty tired. We also are... engine's kind of overheating, so I'm going to cool it down, and then set back out. And there we go. That is the last delivery that I was set to make. And I like the Road Construction Bureau for some reason, so that's good. My engine does cool when I rest, but not like... But it depends on the weather conditions. So if there's a dust storm, then no, it won't. Alright. At this point, what I'll probably end up doing, just because I am not having very much luck... Oh man, more bad weather. I'm not having very much luck hiring people, is just to bounce between bars until it happens. So like going from Valleyville... Oh, let's navigate through this pileup. And truck got damaged, but that's not that much of a problem. Bouncing between like Valleyville and Reedville, back and forth until I find someone that's willing to be hired. Doing it the min-maxy quick way so that we can move on, because there's a lot more of this game yet to be explored. So I'm going to stop. I'm over-fatigued. I'm going to camp. And then set back out. Now that was a little riskier because we were in a slightly infected zone, but my risk wasn't very high, which is good. And it was also very useful to camp before we hit the swamp, because the swamp won't allow us to camp anyway. A gas station. I am going to search it thoroughly. And in this case, we got attacked. So there is zombies trying to ambush us, and I am going to burn fuel and run, which has a 100% chance to succeed as long as I burn 75 fuel. The reason I'm running is I don't have particularly high melee stats. I'm already fatigued, and then I'm rattled. So I have a bunch of negative modifiers, which makes my attack even worse. So it would be best not to press my luck and try to fight a horde of zombies while I'm fatigued and rattled. That's a really losing combination. Alright, we are in wheat stock. I'll sell the wood that I have. And a trader from Milsec faction interrupts you. They want to sell wood, and I'm going to refuse. Basically, they're asking to sell wood before me to get a better market price, and I'm like, nah, man. Milsec can bite me. It is a good way to build up reputation with other factions, but that's not what I'm looking to do right now. So, I'm going to get a VIP suite because I'm a little stressed, and I'm definitely tired. And then let's check out the bar. There is a driver that I could hire named Fen. They don't really have good stats, though. So I'm going to pass on that. And I'll take a look at the delivery to see if any of them take me east. That one takes me way southwest. Forget that one. And that was the only one in here. Okay. Well, didn't figure that that would work. If I am heading... Next location I'm going to head to is going to be probably Tannerus. Or Taranis. So let's see. They want salt, sugar, beer, bread, seasoning. Well, Wheatstock only sells wheat, sugarcane, and tires, so none of those things are needed in Taranis, so I'm just going to drive over to Taranis. All right, you spot a billow of exhaust in the distance. I'm just going to keep moving on. Can you fire bad companions? Yes, but they might steal from you when you fire them. So it's not worth it, in my opinion. Plus, they cost money to hire. So if you're hiring them, you pay them money, and then if you don't like them, you fire them and they steal from you. It's really dumb to hire worthless people. You've arrived in Taranis, a large city located in the middle of the Dustlands. Some say it stood here long before society fell to pieces. All right. And I have a land claim here, so I'm going to go see the mayor. The mayor is a middle-aged man in an old military uniform. His face is weathered with deep-set wrinkles, but his eyes are as sharp as a younger man's. The Scuttlebutt Bank in the Valleyville has it that he was born before the fall. He also heard that this city's been facing some sort of crisis. Lost in thought, the mayor finally notices your presence. State your business. After hearing why you're here, the mayor invites you to sit down with a warm but professional smile. As he looks over your deed, his smile turns into a frown. This looks authentic enough, but it's far too old to be valid. Normally we'd compensate with cash, but I'm afraid the city's finances have fallen on some hard times. So you're cheating us out of our land? Come on, kid, it's not like that. There's things going on here that you don't understand, alright? Alright, I'm not going to follow up with that just yet, because we are looking to hire people. That is my priority. So here's someone. They are a scholar with really high intellect. Alright, question. Should we hire her? Now, our truck does have capacity for 4 total, but what I'm trying to do is hire someone that could be like a partner in crime, so to speak. And I can also look at the other people here to be hired as well. There is no other females to be hired, just this male. So I was saying before, I was looking for someone with particularly high intellect stats. I don't know why the poll isn't counting up, though. That's odd. But Yanni the Scholar. Taking a look at the other things that we can do here. So there's an inn. There's the library if we want to learn stuff. And while you vote on that, I'm going to take a look at some of the delivery contracts. So here's a mechanic. Here is... Oh, they don't want to talk to me? Never mind. Combat unit? Wow. Very old, long-distance delivery for no money. Looking at the chat, you guys do want me to hire the scholar. Wow, this poll is so broken, I can't even hide it. Well, okay, I'm going to force it hidden. Okay, yeah, my polling software just broke. So let's go ahead and hire her. There's strength in numbers. Now that we have 2 people taking turns driving, we won't have to stop to rest as often. And she was of Taranis' faction. So has a Taranis background. So, sweet dreams. Sleeping reduces stress. Greatly reduced thirst limit. And increased fatigue limit. Really good personality traits. Alright, and we're going to have her level up her intellect to 30. I would love to be able to poll you guys about what to do next, but it looks like polling software just broke. So, what I can do is I can tell you the options, but I'm going to be picking for myself until the polls come back. So, the game obviously has main quest lines, the main story. So, the Taranis land deed and the Starlight land deed. You can, of course, upgrade your truck with both truck repairs and upgrades and also crafting improvements to your truck. There is gear. Oh, and I forgot to actually equip my gear, so that's dumb. So I'm putting that on now. My glasses, my tactical wear, and my crowbar. So there's guns and weapons that you can craft and upgrade. And then there's also land deeds. So that might be some of the more compelling, which is that you can become the mayor of your own town and build up the infrastructure of the town so that the town starts to produce goods depending on what you build. So if you build a farm, you might produce fruit or vegetables or honey or something like that. If you build up a crafting chain, you might mine ore and then craft the ore into metals or building materials, so on and so forth. So you can also become a mayor of your own town, or multiple towns, in fact, because there is Monture, whatever that is. That's one town that you could potentially found. You've also got Daybreak City. You've got Starlight City. And where's the last one? Steelton. So these are 4 towns that you could potentially become mayors of. In fact, you could become mayors of all 4 if you want. It's generally easier to just focus on one. So there is maybe not, it's a bit of a sandbox game, but there are the main quest lines and then the goal of becoming a bustling city in Dustland. And those would be like the main goals of the game. I'm hoping that Poland comes back soon, but for now, my plan is to craft upgrades for the truck. I would like a more capable truck while earning money. Can you marry your companions? No, there's no marriage, but you can become like an item, so to speak. All right, so before I go anywhere, I'm pretty stressed out. So let's get frisky with this someone. No one? Nope, there's no one here to get frisky with. Okay, never mind. I will pay top dollar for a VIP suite then. Can you own pets? Yes. All right, let's take a look. I'm going to go to the library. We're in a city that has a library. So let's plan on some of our initial upgrades. So we did notice that the forest really slowed us down, right? When we drove through it, the horsepower impact was massive. So it would be great to craft a winch to help us traverse forests better. Which means obtaining pig iron, foil, and compounds. Additionally, it rains pretty often. So it'd be great to craft windshield wipers, which is pig iron, iron, and compounds. And then we can even get reinforced wipers once we craft the original ones that have even greater offset for horsepower for rain, which is a lot more pig iron and pre-fall materials and scrap. It would also be nice to be able to drive further without having to constantly rest. So that would be a seating pad. And I'm going to learn how to make a seating pad right now using some of the books that I have. It would also be great to have a bed to relieve us from fatigue when we camp. So let's learn that as well. So these are some of the things that I want to make. Dining table to relieve fatigue while we eat would be great. Radiators to cool down our engine more effectively, including the improved version. Setting up our camp quickly. And I'm just learning the blueprints for these. I'm not actually crafting them. And then setting up the camp even faster. Removing tires grants 30 scrap. That'd be awesome. So these are all truck upgrades that I would like at some point to install. Oh, you know what? Polling just came back. So here, you guys actually get to vote if this works on the next goal. So 2.5 minutes over on the left there. And I hope it actually works now. So if you want me to improve the truck, improve gear, work on a main quest line, improving a settlement, or something that you guys suggest, feel free to vote. And while you do that, I'm going to try to take a look at all of the delivery quests here. To see if any of them are convenient and local. because almost everything that we do is going to require scrap. Also, the relationship that you have with your truck mates is largely driven by shared experiences. So the sooner you hire someone that you think you could be compatible with, the more relationship you will build with them. And this will become obvious as we drive around and do stuff. All right, looks like you guys want me to also improve the truck. So let's go ahead and talk to some of the junk dealers here. There's only one. Librarian wants to confess my love for me. Not now. But yeah, we'll try to stay friends. Alright, and from you, I'm going to buy scrap paper. So if we want items, there's a really effective way to figure out how to get them. So like, let's say the first thing we want to craft is a seating pad. Fiber can be found at farms, gas stations, military bases, towns, major cities, and landfills, and most commonly at major cities and landfills. And gas stations and military bases. So don't go to regular towns. And then we also want scrap paper, which is landfills and major cities as well. So if we head to major cities and landfills to search them, we're more likely to get the items needed for a seating pad so that we can drive further without having to rest, which would be good. And it looks like you guys have agreed that improving the truck is going to be the goal, so great. Craft upgrades for the truck. So here's a landfill, and I'm going to head over there and search it for stuff. My character is also pretty stressed, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. You don't want to get too stressed. I'm going to stop, camp, and I am going to party. Reducing a little bit of stress. And then I'm also going to share knowledge with the scholar. I'm going to do that twice while it's raining. So, scholar's opinion of me is plus 25, but I have no particular opinion of them just yet. But this will change as we explore the wasteland together. We're down to 11 tires, so it'd be good for me to buy some soon. So this is what I'm talking about, shared experiences. Both of us encountered the cactus patch for the first time, and as a result, while we're driving around, we might recall the cactus patch, and it will build up a relationship with one another if we have positive experiences with one another. It's probably the simplest way to explain it. So I'm just going to ram through this cactus patch, and we just drove right through it and destroyed it. Perfect. All right, I'm going to upgrade my speech so I can talk to more people. So here we are in the El Tufo landfill. And she didn't like it. So if I take a look at her dislikes, she does not like Taranis, and she does not like the landfill. And if I take a look at my dislikes, I don't like the Western gas station, and I don't like wooden crates, the pile up, or the gas station events. So I'm going to search here carefully. If the city salvage level is greater than 0, you can search it for supplies. So essentially, if you continually search the same area over and over, you do pick it clean, but it does refresh over time. So we found 170 more scrap, gear, iron, compounds, leather, and pig iron. And then if we take a look, this had original salvage level of 3, now it's down to 2. So you can see the depletion of the salvage that is there. I searched it again for scrap, iron, mystery, liquids, fiber, scrap paper, leather, foil, glass, pig iron, and then we also got attacked. I'm going to try to run. We failed to run. So this horde here has 54 HP, And we have a melee attack of 15, which is a combination of between me and her. I don't have any guns, so I can't shoot at them ahead of time, but I could try to run and burn fuel doing so. It has a 92% chance of succeeding, but my fuel is relatively low. So because we've hung out at this scrap pile for a while, we have driven up our infection and risk, essentially attracting attention to ourselves. So it is probably time to move on. So I'm going to depart from this El Tufa landfill, also because we kind of picked it clean, and I want to head somewhere where I can buy fuel. So this town here produces fuel, so it's going to be cheaper fuel than the other places around. Crude Town. Literally named after crude fuel, I suspect. Oh boy. I am not getting along with her very well. Hopefully that changes soon. And I could also try to hire other female co-pilots, or truck crew, or whatever you want to call it, to increase my chance for a relationship with one of them. Because there is use for NPCs that you don't necessarily want in your truck. Once you start building up a town, you can have people that are in your truck then get assigned to the town and work for the town for production facilities. So she leveled up, and I'm going to give her speech, because her speech was pretty low. Her attack is also really low. Here we go. Buying a whole bunch of fuel so that we don't run out. And I'm also going to buy 4 clothing for special events that might crop up. So this town has a slave trade. I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna move on from here. I want to head somewhere with a bar next, so I'm gonna go up to Reedville, and then over to the supply cache. And let's take a quick look at our crafting. So I can craft a radiator already. Sure, let's do it. And I'd like to... Oh, good. We can craft the improved radiator. And then here, I can go to parts and install the improved radiator for 175 scrap. So now whenever we cool our engine with water, we'll get a bonus of 40% cooling. What is the bonus? Bargain option? So the bargain option when you're buying something or selling something uses your speech and your reputation to be able to try to bargain them down for a better price. Because my success rate is so low, the chance of me doing it successfully is low enough that I'm going to drive up the price and make it worse for myself, so I'm not bothering at this point. Alright, so let's get over to Reedville. I wouldn't mind trying to hire some other people too. Having more crew, there is definitely safety in numbers, and having 3 or 4 can make you a lot more protected when you're attacked by bandits, raiders, zombies, etc. than if you're alone. Oh, more toxic fog. Let's try charge through again. And Scholar was wounded. So if I want to heal Scholar, I can just click on Scholar, go to heal, use a medkit. Relatively expensive, but it's better than her dying. The cost of hiring her is a lot more expensive than the cost of 1 medkit. Alright, here we are in Reedville. When you roll into town, an older gentleman waves you down. Are you folks also couriers? He jogs up to the window of your cab. I've got a shipment here for the next town over, but my trailer's full up. Could you do me a huge favor and deliver it for me? Sure, what do you need us to do? Nothing too complicated, just deliver these tanks of fuel. Alright. So I'm tired, and I'm also stressed. Wow, there is... Let's try to buy some parts. So I'm going to buy from this person connectors. I just became friends with the hunter because the hunter is a teetotaler, as am I. And from this person, I am going to buy gears. I'll take a look at the delivery contracts. Maybe they're local. Oh, that one's not too bad. Sure. That one's not bad either. Opposite direction, but not that far. That one is the next town over, which is also why its rewards are so low. But that I'm heading in that direction anyway. The instructor wants to be friends with me because we are compatible. Oh, I didn't mean to set out. I don't want to go all the way up the Hope Gap station. It's a bit further than I wanted to travel, so I'm not going to take that one. Okay. Then, in the end, I'm going to get a VIP suite because I'm stressed. That will help out a little bit, even though it's expensive. And then taking a look at the shop here. Oh, also, she leveled up. And I will give her... So she's really good at forging as well. That's good to know. I'll give her some more speech. Thank you for tuning in to Dustland Delivery, which originally streamed live on Twitch July 23rd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I've asked for no backseating and also no spoilers, so thank you for respecting that. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow drivers.